violence was wrong, that he had an uncontrollable problem, but violence physically possessed him. It was an overwhelming force he simply couldn't rein in. He understood that it would land him in prison one day, and prison wasn't an option for Stevens. So he decided to separate himself from society. Literally. He headed for the hills, disappearing into the vast, impenetrable San Bernardino Mountains. Stevens put together a basic plan. He would live off the land. He'd grow marijuana in prodigious quantities, smoke as much of it as he wanted, and sell the excess kilos when he needed cash to buy firearms and explosives. He would be as self-sufficient as a human being could be. He wouldn't depend on any friends or family. The only people he would interact with would be the small network of low-level drug dealers he would keep in check with constant threats. His only daily companions would be the wild animals in the mountains. It was a near-perfect plan for a lone wolf determined to live outside the borders of civilized society. I'm something of a lone wolf myself. It's a character trait that has worked to my advantage during investigations. Special agents for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are often charged with the task of operating as a one-man law enforcement agency. Our mandate is primarily to enforce violations in firearms and explosives laws, but our jurisdiction in this area encompasses a wide range of criminal types: narcotics traffickers, traditional organized crime families, outlaw bike gangs, inner-city gangs such as the Bloods and the Crips, and anti-government and hate groups such as the neo-Nazis and Aryan nations. Special agents with ATF have two basic options. They can forge a smooth, relatively hassle-free investigator's career by focusing on background work, running errands for the administrators, and picking up what we call adoptive cases. That is, bringing in federal resources and manpower to investigations that were initiated and completed by local law enforcement. Or they can take my career path, always pushing into overdrive, making cases against real bad guys, putting themselves in harm's way by getting right in the line of fire and, if necessary, going undercover to get the most violent criminals off the street. Throughout my ATF career, often to the dismay of my supervisors, I took that put your life on the line attitude to the limit. In dozens of cases, I went undercover to infiltrate armed organizations such as the skinheads and Aryan nations. And most notably, in the late 90s, near the end of my ATF stint, when I penetrated the Mongols' outlaw motorcycle gang in a landmark 2.5-year investigation. During that case, playing the part of a biker badass named Billy St. John, I achieved something nearly unthinkable for a federal agent. I became a patched-in member of the club and eventually rose to the position of treasurer and vice president of the Mongols' San Fernando Valley chapter. Going deep undercover or running and gunning in the streets always fueled me. I thrived on that high-risk energy. Call it an adrenaline addiction or sheer machismo, but I felt like that was where my investigative talents were best utilized. I wanted to be out on the firing line, wearing a coat and tie behind my desk at headquarters, typing up the stream of official reports and memoranda. I felt like a fish out of water. My place was in the street, down in the trenches, chewing the same dirt with the state and local cops. In early 1986, I was a 37-year-old recently married special agent. My wife at the time and I lived in a peaceful bedroom community called Corona, and I commuted to ATF Metro Group headquarters in downtown Los Angeles. Since I lived in the Inland Empire, it was only natural that I'd start poking around the various police departments and sheriff's offices, expressing an interest in what criminal cases they saw brewing. I was looking for the real bad guys. I always tried to do it in as low-key a manner as I could. Locals often don't appreciate the unsolicited attention of special agents from the FBI, DEA, or ATF. They see the feds as being overpaid and self-serving, sweeping in to take the glory of a promising investigation away from blue-collar cops. I've always found that intra-agency rivalries